It's finally here. The Matt Malone League kicks off for its inaugural event at the virtual Okayama International Circuit in Japan. Over 40 drivers are primed and ready to get down onto the virtual tarmac in their fantastic GT4 machines on the iRacing service within the next 10 minutes. Using the usual format of the Patreon races, we will have a 20-minute open qualifying session with all drivers fighting it out not only on the timing screens but on circuit, looking for a space to put in an uninterrupted lap. Of course, that is going to be very difficult feat here at the Okayama circuit, just 2.3 miles of racing surface for all the drivers to contend for. This is going to be a very wild ride, so I've hoped you've buckled in and you've braced yourself. The Matt Malone Patreon League is open for all Malone's Patriots, which means that we are going to have a very mixed bag of drivers heading out onto the circuit today. I checked this morning, and the highest I-rating driver reaches a whopping 4,294 I-rating. I hate to say that it's Richard Dempsey, and I really hate to say that because why is Dempsey all the way up there? However, the lowest I-rating driver is just 731 I-rating, so that shows how massive the split is going to be today. But not only are we going to be visiting a different circuit each week, this league has a unique twist. Our drivers are going to have to get to grips with a new car each week as well. That's right, it's not just a GT4 specific league, it is going to be a whole host of cars on a whole host of tracks. So every Saturday at 2:30 PM Central through May, June and July, the Matt Malone Patreon League touches the virtual tarmac. So what exactly do we have in store this month if you don't already know? Of course, we're starting here at the Okayama circuit in the GT4s before heading to Freedom Country in the Toyota GR86s at Laguna Seca next week. It's a great car to drive, a huge amount of body roll, a lot of contact can be made in it, and a corkscrew to contend with. Not the type of corkscrew that most people are used to, but motorsport and sim racing fans alike know the challenges and thrill of the 60-foot drop. Gravel is sure to end up in some virtual pants by the end of next Saturday. On May 17th, we jump out of the tin top GT cars into the open top Radical SR8, a car I have personally never driven on the iRacing service and one that I am very glad to be sitting in the virtual commentary booth for. Unlike the GT4s today and the Toyota GR86s next week, one little bit of contact and I'm sure someone is going to be ending up upside down. But what a circuit that they are heading to in the Radicals, visiting Mosport, the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and you guessed it, it's Canada. What a circuit that is. Such a rewarding, flowing track if you get it right, but it can cause headaches, missed apexes, slower traffic. Fortunately, just a one class in this series going to the virtual tarmac, but with that I-rating spread I was talking about, it doesn't really mean much. I think we might still get some traffic that week. Then we're back down south into the States on May 24th in the ever-popular and not at all challenging to drive Porsche Cup, one that is one that I'm probably never going to get into myself. We're going to Road Atlanta for that series. Now, that car I have watched Matt Malone drive a number of times, and I have to say, it looks like a very difficult beast to handle. But then again, the Mazda is probably one of the few tracks, few cars that Matt actually is able to drive semi-competently. So maybe if I was to get into the Porsche, I'd be able to challenge him a little bit at the front. Why am I saying that? I'm a less than 2K I-rating driver. I'll say in the commentary booth. Rounding out May on the 31st, we are heading off to Road America in my favourite of the prototypes, the Ligier P3s. So the quickest car of the month at the fastest circuit. We're going to get great battles, we're going to get hijinks, we're going to get cars in the wall somewhere. And that is going to be a fantastic way to round out the month. But let's get back to today. It's of course only the 3rd of May. We're right at the beginning of this fantastic league. The GT4s at Okayama. What a circuit this is. Relatively new In comparison to most purpose-built circuits in the world, it opened its doors in 1990 as a TI Circuit Ada. The 2.3 mile track hosted the 1994 and 1995 Pacific Grand Prix. That's something that really surprised me when I found that out in my extensive research on Wikipedia about half an hour ago. Both of them won by Michael Schumacher. But due to its remote location, it lost a lot of high-level events. Formula One dropped out, the International Touring Car Championship decided to abandon their race there, and the World Touring Car Championship left after a couple of years. It led to the circuit actually being sold to a private manufacturing company now, so it doesn't host as many events, but it still hosts a good number, such as the Super GT Series, the GT World Challenge, Asia Series, and the Super Formula Lights. But its remote location has no bearing on our drivers today, of course, because they're visiting the virtual ground from all around the world for the opening race of this Matt Malone Patreon League. I am Beehive Bill, and this is the official broadcast of the Matt Malone Patreon League. I hope you are doing well and enjoying your day. I wrote that all out, and I poured water all over it about 5 minutes before the start of the stream, so I hope I didn't stumble too much on my words trying to muddle around and find my way through. Qualifying begins when the server opens in 4 minutes time. Like I say, it's an open qualifying session, so that's 20 minutes where cars are just going to be jumping out, getting their laps in, trying to get themselves as high up as they can, because it's only then a 20-minute race. And with 50 people signed up into the league at the time in which I started this stream, it's going to be a very, very full track. The biggest grid I have ever commentated on, and it's my first ever time commentating on an iRacing event, so this is going to be extremely interesting. We'll see how it goes. I hope you are all enjoying your Saturdays though, and you have enjoyed the fantastic race. Why did I say fantastic racing? You've enjoyed the racing that has been going on Matt Malone's channel today, from the 2-hour race at Suzuka to the Clio League. Of course, we could say that Matt did win a race today, but I think we'll all agree that actually he got disqualified, so therefore Matt hasn't won a race today. Can he win in his own league? I think that's wait to find out if he's able to do that. But I was sort of checking around on the in the chat a little bit, reading what people were coming up with, what cars they were going to jump into today, because this is a GT4 series today, which means that they have a choice of cars. You've got the Mercedes, you've got the BMWs, you've got the McLarens, you've got the Porsches, you've got the Aston Martins, you've got a selection of cars. So yes, we're in one category, but the choice as to which car is going to come out on top is one that has been debated all day. Of course, Matt Malone most likely going for the McLaren. That's one that he's comfortable with, he likes. But I know that the Merc would be a good car to drive here. It's a very popular car to drive anyway. One of the most popular, according to Matt, as he was saying earlier. But the Porsche also could be a good car to drive here. So it's going to be interesting once the session opens and we're able to jump in, which cars creep to the top as well as which drivers are able to get up there. Now, I am trying my best to look at my extensive notes that I have in front of me, and genuinely this is an extensive spreadsheet that I've got of all the drivers, all their nicknames and their relative IR and SR going into the race. Well, I say going into the race, I did this this morning, but I think it's going to be interesting to see. Now, watching back on the Clio race, that before the reverse race, Matty Grill, driver who was up there, driver who was confident, is he going to be able to place himself nearer the front in this one? It's going to be interesting to see. We've got very big names in terms of the community members within the channel of Matt Malone. We've got Mr. Anders going out into this race. We've got Diabetes Wolf, who was just ahead of Malone for a brief moment in the final race in the Clio League. Going down then, we've got so many more names as I'm trying to go through. We've got Mad Dog, we've got Schneckle, we've got Provi, we've got the Hernster, Matty Quill, we've got Fishy there, We've got, unfortunately, Richard Dempsey at the bottom there. Slugger. So many names. I can't keep up. This is the biggest list that I have ever seen in front of me. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one, and I can't wait for it to begin. And talking about it beginning, we are less than a minute away from the server opening. Therefore, if you are a driver racing today, good luck. Have fun. Stop watching the stream. I've done that myself. From the moment you hear your name, you throw it into a tyre barrier. There is living proof that I've actually done that, and I hate to see it. So don't watch. Right, sessions are getting started, so I will get myself launched in as well as we go through. Let's have a look here. Oh, this is excellent. I'm restricted from the session. That is not something that we wish to see. If someone in chat could go along and let Matt Malone know that I am restricted from the session and I actually can't join in any way. That would be great so that we could get in and watch the qualifying session unfold and get into the race. That is what we would like. Let's... That's fantastic, right? Great start to this. Like I said, first time I'm streaming on iRacing. This is all brand new to me, and this is an interesting way to begin it. Let me relaunch my iRacing just to make sure that everything's all working good here. It is hot in here. It has been really hot in the UK this week. It's going to be hot down on the circuit in the virtual Japan, of course. No rain. Oh, I like that. I like that we have no rain. Right, let's give this another go. There you go. All good now. And I am in. Right, brilliant. Right, while that loads then, let's see what have we got here then. So like I say, it's a 2.3 mile circuit here in Okayama in the location of Mimisaka. Like I said, it's remote. It's quite far away. All of those big championships that we used to race here, Formula 1, the World Touring Car, Super Formula, the Japan Le Mans Series, all of them that used to race at Okayama moved to the ever-popular Suzuka circuit in a much more convenient location. And that's why I love iRacing. It's why I love sim racing as a whole. I've got thousands of hours on a variety of simulators over the last 15 years that I've been sim racing, and I just love the fact that at any moment you can just be like, you know what, I want to go race on this circuit, and then the next moment I want to go and race on this circuit, and you just don't have to worry about the cost of getting there, the time to get there, getting your vehicle there. Heck, you can choose whatever vehicle you want. And I think that's what's really, really great about sim racing as a whole, is it's just so inviting to just give anything a go. And I've never heard of Okayama before getting onto the iRacing service and having to do Mazda rookie races here and ending up in barriers at every single turn around this circuit. So this is going to be fun to watch the lovely field of what is expected to be 49 drivers as my last check. So we shall see how many get in there. And let's hope that everything works as well as it should, because I say, first time streaming iRacing, this is going to be interesting if it works or not. The overlay is a work in progress as we get started with this as well, because me and Matt decided on Wednesday that I would, agreed on Wednesday that I was going to broadcast this, so I have been learning the system of creating an overlay. But we are into the session now then, and I'm just checking to make sure that everything is working well, and it looks like it is, which is fantastic. Let me hide a few things. There we go. Okay, I think I've got it. I know how to work this. Right, let's go across here then. We are in session here at the Okayama circuit as we watch drivers heading in. So many drivers in this field already as everyone's getting in, wanting to put in their qualifying laps. So I'm just going to leave it running around on, I believe it's picking the most exciting. So we'll just leave it on that for the moment as we go through. It doesn't look like any lap times are placed in at the moment, but when they are, we'll get the leaderboard up so you can have a watch at that. We're currently having a run around with Scrubberton in the number 15 machine. This is great. I'm so glad it's given me the nickname so I don't have to remember real names alongside nicknames. But this is Corey Altis, the number 15 machine in the Porsche there. Headlights off. Some headlights on, some headlights off. I don't know which would be better around here. What do you think? I mean, it doesn't look bright and sunny, I was hoping for, but it's certainly not going to rain. It's not dark, it's not nighttime. This is the number 25 machine here, the Hernster, running around in his McLaren as it looks like slowly the trading paints kicks in. This is what happens when you have no open practice to load everything into. You just jump in on qualifying. And I'm interested to see what are the first laps going to be. We've got a Greg's livery there. Who's racing the Gregs? That's number 16, Matty Gwill, repping his favourite lunch brand there. Greg's heading around turn 1. This is Matt Malone, the man, the myth, the legend. It's not actually. It's 24. It's Olsen X14. I don't know who that is because it was a late minute update on the system and I did not update my list of nicknames when I went live, so we're going to keep on running around then. Have we got some lap times in on the board? I hope we have. It doesn't look like we do have any confirmed lap times at the moment. We look at the number 16 of Matty Gwill running on board with him. In fact, we'll go on board with Matty Gwill running in the gyro cam here. Running number 16 machine in the Aston Martin. That is some gravel being kicked up in front. Now, this is the interesting thing about open qualifying in comparison to the usual iRacing format, closed qualifying, 2 laps. Is first of all, you have as many laps as you can fit into 20 minutes to get your hot lap in. But you've got to contend with the traffic and the gravel that's being kicked up on circuit. You can see a little bit of gravel on the inside of turn number 9 there. Into the final 2 turns, through the Mike Knight corner, up towards the last corner. What an inventive name, I must say. Whoever calls corners first corner and last corner must be given a reward because that is fantastic. Here comes Grill across the line. Are we going to get a lap time finally on the board? We are going to get a lap time on the board, but for some reason, my timer not wanting to display. There we go. We're getting them on my timing system. Let's show you then what we got on the qualifying so far. Top 9 have crossed the line and quite a spread field. But it's Matt Malone who goes onto the top. Here he is in his McLaren, the number 17 machine. It's Slugger in second position. Wyatt comes across the line in third. 5 drivers now within 1 second of Matt Malone. Are they going to be able to improve and go any further? It's going to be interesting. There's so many cars to try and watch and see who's on a good lap here, because the timing screen doesn't flick up in green or purple like you'd expect it to, and it's so confusing trying to find who is on the fastest lap. But we're in the Porsche here. It's Mr. Anders, the 747. Do you know what? Even if I don't have anything on screen, you're not going to forget who that is. That is definitely an easy livery to grab, which is great. Turbo Snail moves into 5th position, just ahead of Extra Pickles. Look how close it is at the top. Matt Malone not on track at the moment, or is he? I think he is. It keeps on dabbing in and out, but it's the 13 of Slugger, 4 thousandths of a second behind. Can he improve on that? I think he can, especially as it says the last lap was only 28.5 seconds. I think he can improve to 1:35 if he's running that quickly, but we'll have to wait and see. As Al Latufu goes into 4th position, 4 tenths behind the pole man so far. We're about just coming up to halfway through this qualifying session. Right now, your order is Matt Malone, Slugger, Matty Gwill, Al Latufu, and Checkers in your top 5. Are they going to be able to stay that way? Probably not, but we'll give it a go. Let's see who can improve. It's Frank Red Hot going a bit faster in his lovely Rothmans Mercedes there. In P21 he goes with a 137.4, and Slugger improves on that lap. He does go faster. A 134.777 moves Slugger into provisional pole. Matt Malone drops almost 4 tenths behind. What a lap by Slugger there. Can Matt Malone improve? Let's have a little bit of a look. We're going to ride on board with his McLaren, and that very, very small letterbox that you can see in front, that is the racing surface. Can you see anything through there? I certainly can't. Let's see if we can improve our view here. I've lost all controls. I cannot. I wanted to zoom in. I do not have any controls here, unfortunately. As we watch Malone come through turn number 9 of Hobbs, heading up to Mike Knight's corner. Can he improve? He needs to go for a 34.7. His best lap so far at 35.1. But look at his last. Look how close they are. Aulatufu knocks Malone down to P3. But only just. Look how close that is. Can Malone make this smallest of improvements and go faster? Across the line he goes. And it is an improvement, and look at that! It's 1/100th of a second ahead of Slugger. Absolutely amazing. Looking at Latufu here then, in the number 20, in that McLaren, the top 3 drivers all in McLarens. In fact, Checkers is also in McLaren. Matty Gwill is the only driver in the top 5 not in a McLaren. He's in an Aston Martin. Let's have a look at Meckham. He's in a Mercedes. He's in the highest Mercedes on the field at the moment. The number 62 Bridgestone Potenza livery machine there. Fast lap of 35.5. He put that in last lap. Is he going to get into a rhythm here? Is he going to be able to move himself any higher than 7th place that he is in so far? 34 drivers have currently put in a lap. We're waiting for Mad Dog, Fishy, Robert Goddard, Sean Sims and Deadman to get in laps. Mech Arm comes through the last corner, turn 11 to come across the line. Can he improve on his 35.5? Immortal Hitman moves up into 17th position, just under 2 seconds behind Malone. And across the line, Mecharm does not improve, but a man who did was the driver just a couple of cars behind him on track. In fact, the car behind him on track, which was Powski, up into a top 20. Now, if you are a driver in this series and you want to be featured more on the stream, get yourself in the top 20. Look at that, your names are always on the screen. How lucky are you? Slugger is running around through the final 2 corners. Someone off the track in front of him is Apex Minion, moves up to 11th, and Olsen X14 moves up into P19. Slugger abandons his lap. He's had enough, as does Malone, also had enough, as we go into 7.5 minutes left on the clock. It's Al Latufu in 3rd position in his McLaren. Best lap at 35.119. In fact, I am going to be kind to you. There are all of the best laps of the drivers that have run so far in the race. It looks like there is a slight issue with my timing board. I apologise. I will have to have a look at that going into next week. Yeah, Greg does not get a time. Sorry, Greg. So an issue with the timing board. I will fix that. Oh, someone got a time there. I don't know. I'm confused. I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. Right, Latufu coming into the last 2 corners, nice and fast. Again, a little bit of gravel kicking up in front of him. He kicks a little bit of gravel up as well. That Golf livery looking very nice on the McLaren, I have to say. Is he going to come across the line? Can he beat 35.1 across the line? No, he can't, but just ahead of him, Matty Gwill improved. I didn't notice those lap times. This is why they need to highlight the sector times to me. Matty Gwill moves into P3 at 35.089, only 3/10 of Slugger and Malone. This is going to be a very tight end to qualifying between the top 2, I think. But if you look within each of the areas on track, you have pockets, and I think those pockets are going to be so important when we come to the race, because between each driver, the interval between each driver, apart from third to second of being 0.3 and sixth to fifth of being 0.3, the biggest gap then is 0.2 of a second, and that's between 18th and 17th. So actually, there's there are very small gaps up and down the field, and the smallest gap on track right now, surprisingly, is not between Matt Malone and Slugger at the top of the field. It is between Mech Arm in 7th and Extra Pickles in 6th. Only 4 thousandths of a second separate them around a lap here at Okayama. That is absolutely insane right now. It looks like Matt Malone is preparing himself to get back out. He's decided maybe in the last 5 minutes he doesn't need to improve. Slugger's also decided he's not needing to improve as Pawski crosses the line. 19th position. The top 20 all within 2 seconds of Matt Malone and Slugger. And I'm going to have to say Matt Malone and Slugger because that front row is so tight. You just can't separate them right now as we watch Pawski heading up towards Atwood Curve. Let's actually give a ride on board. We've not been on board in a little bit of a while. This is P19. It's Pawski. He is going to give this a go and see if he can improve any more than P19. Levy Powell, of course, the driver behind that number 10 machine. Frank Redhot moves into 29th position. It's off your leaderboard, but he does move himself up in the 26th machine. In fact, Fishy flies up the board there, putting in a standing lap time, getting him into 22nd position. As Frank Redhot gets a black flag, he is going to be going down to pit lane to get that cleared before he can come back out into the last 4 minutes of this session. Have we got either of the leading 2 out right now? We've got Slugger out at the moment. As we've got just under 4 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. Can Slugger improve? It is a 134.766 to beat. He has a 134.777. So he is going to need to find just the smallest amount of times, as I had the complete wrong system up in front of me. There you go, I got the right one now, as Checkers moves into P3 and then decides, yep, I've had enough, P3's enough, I'm gonna go now. Look how close he is. This is crazy. The top 3 all within 1/10 of a second. You can't really count Matty Grill out of that either. He is literally 0.104 seconds behind, so he is getting into this fight out the front. So 4 cars now fighting for pole. Slugger's out on the track. Is he going to improve on a steady 4.777? We're going to find out as he crosses the line. It looks like that was an outlet. No, there we go. 34.747. Slugger moves in to provisional pole position in almost just underneath doubling the gap that was there before. But Slugger sits on pole position. It is Matt Malone in second, Checkers in third, Matty Gwill in fourth, Aulatufu rounding out your top 5, and Mr. Anders is in sixth. But look at that top 12 all within a second. You've got Extra Pickles, Mech Arm, Apex Minion, Wyatt Way, Iron Tequila, and Nick Bowen all within a second of that top spot right now. And a second, I hate to say it because I'm not the fastest driver out there. There's a reason I'm stood up in the commentary box and not in my virtual race car. Is because I probably couldn't find that second, no matter how hard I tried. But they can give it a go. Come on, let's see if we can close that gap anymore. Slugger out in front. It is going to be Checkers, Matt Malone still in pit lane. Matty Gwill here, 4th position. Can he improve? The intervals in the top 5. You guys can't see the intervals. I've got to add that to the overlay because my word is it close between those top 5, and the closest it is now on the field is no longer 4 thousandths of a tenth. It's 2 thousandths of a tenth. Mr. Anders leading Extra Pickles by just 2 thousandths as someone has had a massive accident there in my right hand ear. As a big explosion, someone's crashed into a wall. That's what I'd be doing pretty much every corner that I tried to lead here. But it is going to be Slugger, Matt Malone, Checkers all in pit lane. Matty Gwill is the highest driver on the field, still out on circuit. We ride on board with him. The number 16 machine. How can he do on this lap? It sounds like he's lifting off a little bit, possibly trying to keep a gap to the Porsche in front of him. A 34.870 is his best. It comes across the line then. Is that going to be a faster lap? A 35.3. So it definitely seems like he's backed off a little bit there. Rox Live goes into the top 20. He goes into 17th position in the 69 nice car. This is not going to help Matty Gwill here close that gap to the top 3 spots. Slugger has gone over a tenth faster than Malone now. Slugger found time before he pitted, and he's back out again. Malone and Checkers, it looks like they've decided qualifying's over. Wyatt, who was a little bit further up the field before, he's fallen to 10th position. He's also decided qualifying's over. Quite a few drivers have decided in this last 2 minutes now they're not going to get out and get a lap time done. Of course, if they come out now, they're not going to get a lap time done. So we are seeing what is essentially the last lap times going to be put on. Slugger is back out though. He is going to give it another go, see if he can open that gap any more. Let's have a look. Oh, it tells me that he is out on track, but he's not out on track. I need to understand my timing screen just a little bit more because it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But there you go. It's learning a whole new system. It's the most complicated system I have ever had to deal with in streaming anything. But it is also the nicest when I understand it. It works fantastically. Matty Gwill coming around the final corner then. A little bit of gravel being kicked up. What is this going to be for the number 16 machine? Can he place himself any higher on the grid? It is a 34.783. He moves himself into 3rd position. Checkers down to 4th in the 19. That is a turtle. It looks like Diabetes Wolf there in the number 23 was trying to replace Jackie O'Mackey. I don't know if Matt Malone would adopt you there. But you can certainly give it a go, Andrew. You can certainly give it a go. As it looks like the session is going to come to a close here. As I figure out how to hide things. I've hidden the wrong thing. 25 seconds left on the clock. Not too many cars out on the circuit. But we will talk through the qualifying order and your race grid in a moment's time. I do not have, unfortunately, an overlay for that, so we'll just have to talk it through, and I'm going to get that. Is my next thing to add is a qualifying results and a race results screen. Don't worry, that will happen next week. It just turns out that there's a little bit more work to be done on the system than I'm used to. Timer comes to a close then as it ticks out. Checker flag is out here in qualifying, and we will get started in our race very, very shortly. 20 minutes on the clock, and let me talk you through our qualifying grid, order then. So our grid for the 20-minute race here at Okayama, the 2.3 mile circuit located in Mimasaka, Japan. Look at those clouds. Lovely cloudy day. Typically UK. I think that we've stolen Japan's weather this week and Japan's stolen ours. It is not looking very lovely out there. But let's go through your grid then for the race. It is Slugger who is going to be starting from 1st position. Matt Malone will start from P2. Matty Gwill in 3rd. Checkers is in 4th, followed by Aulatufu. Mr. Anders in 6th. Extra Pickles in 7th. Mecharm will start in 8th, followed by Apex Minion and Wyatt Way, rounding out your top 10. Iron Tequila will start in 11th position, followed by Nick Bowen. Immortal Hitman will start in 13th. Eric Yeagle in 14th. Travis Rives will start 15th, followed by Riley Graham Rocks Live, Diabetes Wolf, Turbo Snail, and Fishy. As here they are all on the grid. That's your top 20 then. Very quickly running through the rest of your field so you know who they are. 21st is going to be Tony Jaboni, followed by Powski, Casket Man, The Hernster, Sean Sims, Olsen X14, Dan Zolo, Michael Scholler, RT Click, and Provi. And that's your top 30. 31st will be Robert Goddard, followed by Frank Redhot, Scrubberton, Neil Trotter, Gabriel Mazzotti, and Tristan Witt. And it looks like my timing screen might be incorrect, saying that they're not out on track, but I believe they are. 37th is Deadman, followed by Greg Gorilla Phonic and Mad Dog. In 39th position, in the number 39. It's like he planned such a wonderful thing. Right, we're getting ready for this 20-minute race. It's Slugger on the right-hand side column leading the way. It's Matt Malone in the left-hand side column in P2. How is this race going to stack up? We are heading up towards the final two corners. A little bit of a gap forming there. Looks like Matty Quill, Checkers falling back a little bit, not wanting to get all the way towards the front here. Are we going for an extra formation lap? It looks like we're going for an extra formation lap, guys. Don't worry about it. We're going to go for an extra formation lap as that iRacing pace truck just does not want to get out on track. No Richard Dempsey racing today, so he must be the driver behind that pace car. And he's like, that's it. I've had enough. None of you are going racing today. Excellent. Race is delayed. One lap. Thank you so much for the update there. I really do appreciate it. I just thought, yeah, that was Dempsey deciding that his race was not over, even though he's not here. A Matt Malone moment indeed. When is it ever not a Matt Malone moment? Do you know what? I thought that's why I'm the perfect person to do these broadcasts, because if it goes wrong, we can just say, well, it's a Matt Malone broadcast. Why would it go right? It's fine. I thought this is the one for me to get into. No need to be professional here. Right, look at this field of 39 drivers pacing around behind the official iRacing pace truck. Do you know what? That would be a fun car to race. Do you not think? Let's get the iRacing pace truck as an official car that we can drive. Not as a pace car, but just get that truck and let's go and race the trucks. Let's just go. Let's go to, I don't know, Daytona Rallycross. Grab into. I'm not American, so I'm going to get this pickup wrong, aren't I? Is it a Chevrolet? It looks Chevrolet-ish. I don't know. It could be a Toyota. It could be anything at all. This is what happens when you're English and you don't know what a pickup truck is. But look at the cars behind. Absolutely beautiful. Is it only the McLarens with their lights on? It is. Has every McLaren driver just agreed before the start of this race, right? We race with lights. I think that's what they've decided. Look at that field. I'm amazed that my computer is actually handling this and my CPU says 2% because I genuinely thought with more than 10 cars that I would absolutely lose everything and my computer would burn. It's feeling warm, but it's not hot enough to microwave any eggs at the moment, so I'm going to have to keep it going. Right, they're lining themselves up. Take two. Let's see if the race is delayed another lap or whether we can get this way underway. Is Richard Dempsey in the pace truck going to leave the circuit and give this one over to Slugger to lead the pace lap? Let's find out. I don't know what Matty Grill just drops back here. Look, he drops back. He did this last lap. Drops back, he gets up. Could be trying to get his brakes on. The lights are out on the pace car. You are right indeed. Which means he should be veering to the right here so dangerously that he could tip. He's off the screen. Slugger gaining a gap here on Matt Malone as they head up towards turn number 1. Are we going to go? Round the final turn we go. They're not quite accelerating yet. Slugger just holding back. There you go. Their foots are to the floor as we head up to turn number 1 of the inaugural round of the Matt Malone Patreon League. It is Slugger leading the way. Matt Malone on the outside. That gives a great opportunity there to the wonderful Greg's Machine. Moving around the outside of Matty Quill. Can he move up as they are side by side, the 16 and the 98? A few changes in the background, but it looks like they are going relatively single file. As we head up onto the braking zone of Atwood Bird number 4, it's the 98 of Checkers around the outside. Matty Quill gets that position up the inside. No, that's a spin! No! Checkers is around! And that is major in the background. Within the first minute of the race, a number of cars involved. As smoke continues to fill the screen. My word, my timing screen is a wash of green and red. Back up towards the front of the field then. It is Slugger leading the way ahead of Matt Malone. Matty Quill in 3rd position. It is Apex Minion we're looking here. 7th position has dropped back a little bit from that top run already. It looks like there is some battle still going on as everyone's trying to sort themselves out from the mayhem in the background, but they have done so. Slugger has pulled a nice little lead at the front. Mr. Anders is all over the rear of Aulatufu for 4th position, and that's a spin. Who was that? That's Matty Quill. Matty Quill has gone around. Oh, that is a real shame. I'd love to show you, but for some reason my session events aren't showing properly. But Matty Quill has gone around and drops out of the top 20 towards the back of the field. As some battles going up towards turn number 1. This is Scrubberton up the inside of Olsen. Can he hold that for a top 20 slot? He can. As Fishy has also gone around. Let's see if I can try and get you a replay of at least one of these accidents. As, like I say, my session event's not running like I want. How's that going to happen here? As the 18 just loses it all by himself. A real shame. As Slugger's off! The race leader? No, he's not. He's at the front. Whoa! That timing screen. Don't do that to me. Whoa, he could have fallen down the order. That literally, he was just tumbling down, but he still leads the way. It's a 2-car fight for 1st position. It is what my timing screen is telling me is essentially a 25-car fight because they are all within a second of each other in terms of the car in front with the intervals. Let's get those up for you as we have continued. Everything, I will say, has settled down. I don't think that we can say that it's settled down, but we're certainly going to say that we can put up. Oh no, who's that going around? That's the number 9 machine, Immortal Hitman, goes around in turn number 8. As it was a move from 9th position goes Diabetes Wolf. I can't keep up with all the action happening up and down the field. There is so much in my session events, I say, it's just not working. And I'm really annoyed with that because that normally tells me when there's been accidents. Which is a shame. I do apologise for that. But look at this fight going on at the moment. This is the 23 of Diabetes Wolf. This is the train of cars that follow behind Yeagle. Eric Yeagle, 11th position, as that up the inside goes Rocks Live. What a move into P number 11 in that number 69. Nice machine. He's through into 11th, but Eric Yeagle is not going to have it. He's going to keep it. Mr. Anders is falling down my timing sheet. Is he actually off the track? Or is it just me again? He continues to fall, and he's not recovered as around goes Yeagle. Contact with the 25, the Hernster. The Taco Bell, he's going to need to go to the toilet after that one. A big lump on the side. And he's going to get himself back onto the racing track. Looking at Extra Pickles here, somehow has worked his way in to 4th position. 3 positions up from the start. The biggest gainer, though, Diabetes Wolf, up 10 slots in P number 8 so far. How's it looking out at front? It's looking all right. Slugger 7/10 clear of Matt Malone. Some back markers ahead though. That could play into effect as we look at the 21 machine. This is Riley Graham. He wants to get past Diabetes Wolf going up into 8th position. Is he going to be able to make it? No, he's going to stick behind for now. It's a long game. You know, 15 more minutes. It's only been 5 minutes, guys. We've still got 15 more minutes. And Matt Malone is going to try and use the back markers ahead of him to try and catch up to Slugger. Moves over to the side there. Whoever that was falling a lap down. But it is going to be Slugger leading the way. Matt Malone closes in there going through turn number 5, but not enough to really worry Slugger too much. There's Owler 2 through in 3rd, Extra Pickles in 4th, and that means that we did lose Mr. Anders, which is a real shame because he was up here in that top 5 giving it a good old go, but he couldn't hold on to it, unfortunately. We've got a battle going on. 15th position is Casket Man leading Scrubberton. The 7 leading the 15. Some gravel being kicked up by Sean Sims there ahead in the 14. Look how much gravel is on the circuit. I cannot wait until Laguna Seca has up the inside. Yes, he can make it. The Hernster 25 gets past Scrubberton. It used to be a battle between Scrubberton and Carsitman, but the Hernster decided he wanted to get involved. He looks up to the inside once again. He can't look past Casketman in the number 7, and that's onto the gravel for the 7 ahead. Could this be a move for the Hernster? Matt Malone only 2 tenths behind Slugger. This is the battle for the race lead. Is he going to be able to make a move? It's the 2 McLarens out front. It's a McLaren in 3rd with Owler 2 through. Definitely the car to choose from, it turns out. 13 minutes on the clock. Matt Malone in the slipstream of Slugger here. Dropping a bit back. It's about 2 tenths of a second heading into turn number 4. Heading into turn number 5. It's down to 5 tenths of a second. Not what Malone would have wanted, but he closes down on the brakes here. Can he find a way through past Slugger on the end of this lap? It's really tight. It's really technical. Catches on the gravel on the outside. Touches the grass just a bit too much on the outside. Better than his Clio racing line, I will say. Gets onto the brakes though. This could be an absolute immense fight as we come into turn number 9 through Hobbs. There's the 17 machine. A nice wide view as we go into the last 2 corners. This will be an opportunity into turn number 1. If he doesn't make it, there are certainly other drivers who are looking to make their way through the field. What a great camera view, hidden by the pit wall. We're not going to see the overtake. There we go, Matt Malone on the left-hand side, on the outside of Slugger, through turn number 1. Can he make it? Yes, he can make it, as I'll finally stop that music that I realise has been playing in the background this whole time. And Malone takes the lead past Slugger. What a move around the outside, but it's no way over at the moment. Slugger is close behind, and we'll be wanting to get back that first position where he qualified in this race. Bigger shakers and bakers then, up 15 slots is Scrubberton in 18th position right now. What a fantastic climb for him. The biggest loser, we're going to say, that is still in the race by the looks of it. To be fair, those that are still in the race, it only looks like about 6 or 7 slots lost for those that are still racing. So not too bad. Slugger drops off of Malone, but Malone kicking up the gravel. It's half a second between these two. Not quite the closest battle on track. That's here. Probably an Eric Yeagle behind. Sorry, no, that's probably an Olsen ahead. It's Olsen ahead, I do apologise. This is for just outside the top 20. This is for 21st position. The number 11, can he move to the right-hand side in his Mercedes past that BMW machine? He can't. But look how close Eric Yeagle and Frank Redhot are behind. Yeagle obviously made a lovely move earlier, but got involved in a little bit of contact, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to remember what's happened. That's the Taco Bell machine. Yes, he got involved in some contact earlier. There's been so much going on. It looks like Slugger's taken the lead. No, it hasn't. My timing screen has fooled me once again. It loves to do that as we go and look at this battle that's occurring for just about the top 10 slot. This is Riley Graham. He's following Rockslide. Rockslide leading this little run in that Porsche, in that black Porsche number 69. 21 of Riley Graham. Looking like he's going to try and make his way through soon for B number 9. We're halfway through this race. That's right, guys. We're only halfway. 10 minutes down, 10 minutes to go. Matt Malone leads the way ahead of Slugger. Half a second between them. Aulatufu 6.5 seconds back from that. So it's definitely just a fight for the lead between the leading 2 drivers, but what are they going to be able to do? This is Checkers. He's chasing down the Hernstar for 15th position. The 98 McLaren chasing down the 25 McLaren. Is he going to be able to make any moves here? Let's go on board and see what he might be able to do here with just 9 minutes left on the clock. I say just 9 minutes, but so much has already happened that 9 minutes, the whole world could change. Matt Malone could finish last and somehow, I don't know, Mr. Anders could come back into this race and take the win. Who knows at the moment with this? Oh, Matt Malone might just throw a random safety car into it. You know, who knows what's going to happen. But right now, Mad Dog looks like he's just made a move through, in fact. I'm glad my timing screen is working as well as it is. There he is! He's side by side! We were riding on board. We didn't even see the number 9 of Immortal Hitman around the outside. Mad Dog is going to have to drop behind. Who's that going around in the background? I cannot figure it out. Is it Gabriel Mazzotti or is it Dan Zolo? It looks like it's the 34 of Mazzotti. No, it's not. I think that was a driver who was already a lap down that just went around there, because that confused me as I was trying to go through my timing screens. But look how close Slugger is once more. And he moves to the right-hand side. He just dips there, trying to possibly make a move through. He can't quite do it. He's going to stay behind. Just giving a little bit of a sniff. That's very, very different. We can't do that on Twitch. He was giving him a sniff, though, before running slightly onto the gravel there. It's going to drop him back through the final section of this lap. Very tight, very technical. Can he make any time up as we run through turn number 8? No, into turn number 9. As he disappears behind the machine and reappears once more. Still a very close gap, only half a second between the two here. But it's not enough for Slugger, the man who started on pole, to beat Matt Malone in his own league. Can we call this hacks if the man who hosting the league wins the league? Yes, okay. Slugger chasing behind, 0.4 of a second. And it looks like this is one of the closest fights going on right now, which means we are going to keep watching it for the time being, although Extra Pickles is getting on the rear end of Aulatufu if he's able to make a move possibly for the final podium spot. Just 5 laps to go apparently. I don't know what's going on there, but it's 6 minutes to go. That's something that I need to fix. We will get rid of that for the time being, and I'll just yell at you what time it is left, because that is broken, and I will fix it for next week. But this is still the fight going on for the lead. Is Slugger going to be able to make the move? We can see 3rd and 4th appearing in the background, and let's keep on watching them, in fact, because this is 3rd and 4th position, and that actually it looks like there's some back markers between themselves and 5th, so they're in a protected position, but they're both around. Aulatufu, he saves it. Extra Pickles falls down. Apex Minion moves into 4th as there comes Extra Pickles recovering. No, from a 4th position, looking for a 3rd. My word, he is going to have to recover now in the last 6 minutes of the race. Just so you know, it's 6 minutes without a timer there. Oh my word, that is a shame, but Aulatufu holds on to 3rd and has a 2.5 second gap to Apex Minion, so it's feeling comfortable. This maybe not so comfortable for Matt Malone as Slugger goes for the inside line. Of course, Matt Malone got the lead of the race on the outside. Can he hold it on the outside? I think there was a little bit of a touch there, some smoke coming off. It's going to be Matt Malone on the inside line through Williams here, and he is going to hold through the exit of turn 2. Slugger's going to dive to the left-hand side though. Is that going to activate the spotter? That's definitely activating the spotter. Matt Malone sticks to the right-hand side. He's going to have the inside. Slugger could carry out some more speed. Go for a switch back here. He drops in behind Matt Malone. He's going to have to slipstream here. This is going to be a great opportunity onto the back straight up towards turn number 5 of the hairpin. Matt Malone goes to the right-hand side of the circuit. He's gone defensive. Slugger moves to the left. They're side by side here, looking for the lead. Slugger breaks just a little bit later. Is there going to be contact between the two of them? No, they give each other so much racing room. That was brilliant. Slugger to the inside. They're still side by side. How are they doing this? Matt Malone on the gravel. He comes back on. They're still side by side. And I don't know who's going to come out on top. They keep on flicking on my timing screen. It's Slugger on the left-hand side. Matt Malone on the outside. Can he hold it in the 17? No, it looks like the 13's got it, but it switches back again. And it's given Matt Malone the inside, and he's now got the inside through the final 2 corners as well. Is he going to give it up to Slugger? Though he is. Slugger removes back into pole position. Into the lead of the race, sorry. What a fantastic little fight going on there between the 13 and the 17, and it's not over. Lights flashing on Slugger's machine. It's a student driver. Get out of the way. You're not supposed to be learning here. Slugger is leading the way. Matt Malone tucks in behind, going through turn number 1 up towards Williams of turn number 2. It is nip and tuck between these two. Less than half a second separate them. We've got less than 4 minutes on the clock. Looking at the estimation, I'm doing just as well as Matt Malone on saying words. We've only got 3 laps to go, including this one. Matt Malone is going to have to hold on and try to get back through. But when is he going to do it? Is he going to go straight away, or is he going to wait? Let's find out. Up towards the hairpin. He moves to the left. He follows Slugger. Slugger defends. He's going to stay behind. I think that might be the way that we go for a little bit. Is Matt Malone just following Slugger up until that white flag lap? As we get settled down a little bit, look how close it is. There are some fights going on behind, but nothing beats the fight for the lead. Matt Malone moves to the left-hand side. He gets back in. He's going to follow down. How is this going to play out as they come through turn number 9? That's a back marker ahead, almost collecting the Mercedes here. He's going to slow down. He's going to get out of the fight. He doesn't want to get involved in the fight between Slugger and Malone. Through the final turn, here they go. So close, 0.2 of a second. We have got those 6 cars fighting it out for 7th position. Diabetes Wolf leading that fight. As we head up into turn number 1, we'll go pop back and have a look at this fight for a moment whilst the leading fight settles down. Look at this! So many cars just trying to get past that Aston Martin 78 back marker. They do, but they are also very, very close in their fight, what they are going for here. But it looks like it is going to stay in that order too. Look at that line, and now look how empty the circuit is. Just the leading 2 drivers. Almost 10 seconds clear. Matt Malone goes on a much wider line there. Is he just trying to hang back possibly? Next lap is the white flag lap. So is he just going to wait to the last lap? That would be the move that I would do. Put Slugger under pressure here and just wait until the hairpin on the last lap. That's going to be his best opportunity here. A little bit of a slide, it looks like, from the rear end of Slugger. It looks like he might have killed his tyres just a bit too much with how hot it is on the surface of this track. It doesn't look like it looking in the air, but how hard they are pushing these cars is absolutely ridiculous. As Malone goes around the outside of Slugger, can he make it? He moves to the inside. He's not going to be able to swap over and tuck for that move. He follows behind 0.2 of a second onto the brakes. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for now, but it is the white flag lap as they come across the line. There we go. The white flag is out here. Malone is behind Slugger. Who is going to come out on top? They are so close. Slugger was sniffing Malone's rear end earlier. Malone is giving him the sniff in return. They head up towards Atwood Curve. Malone stays behind, doesn't even try to jump into the inside. Slugger out. Can he do it? Heading up to the hairpin though. Half the circuit goes Slugger all the way to the right-hand side, all the way to the left-hand side, all the way to the right-hand side, all the way to the left-hand side. Matt Malone does not know which way to go. He's waiting. He is waiting. He's not going to go for the move here until the end. He's got just enough room on the outside, but he has to back out of it. Nowhere near enough overlap. They're coming up now to the final 4 corners. Malone all over the rear end of Slugger. He moves to the inside. Is there going to be enough space? Slugger breaks late. Malone's got it. But it is going to give Slugger the inside unless Malone can get the overlap here. No, he can't. Slugger's up the inside. Matt Malone on the outside here. Malone on the grass. Who's going to pull out ahead? Slugger pushing on the inside, but Malone's got it. Malone cuts to the right-hand side. Matt Malone is going to win the opening Matt Malone Patreon League race. He wins just ahead of Slugger behind in P2. Less than 0.2 of a second. As we look at the battle for P number 3, Apex Minion is going to take 3rd. Aulatufu in 4th. Nick Bowen crosses the line in 5th position. Iron Tequila in 6th. Here comes that battle for 7th, and it's going to be Diabetes Wolf in the 23 machine, leading Rock Slide, Riley Graham, Extra Pickles, Turbo Snail, and Checkers across the line there. As that's a black bag. Major accident at turn number 1. Someone's put down oil on the track. My word. What an absolute race that was. Frank Red Hot coming around the corner. The final corner for P22. But it's not everyone. The field continues. How are there more drivers? What a race as everyone crosses the line. And the race is done. But please, call an ambulance for the mess at turn 1. The race isn't done for everyone though. It's done for Mr. Anders. His car's an absolute wreck. But it looks like a few drivers at the back of the field here crossing the line. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. What an opening race that was. Whoa. Let's talk you through your finishing order then for the first race. And like I say, next week we'll have a lovely screen for you. Matt Malone crossed the line as race winner for the opening race of the Matt Malone Patreon League here. Slugger takes 2nd, and Apex Minion, benefiting from so many mistakes in front of him, takes the final step on the roster. Aulatufu, crosses the line in P4. Nick Bowen in 5th. Iron Tequila crosses in 6th. Diabetes Wolf in 7th. Rocks Live in 8th. Riley Graham crosses in 9th. 10th position is Turbo Snail. Checkers crosses the line in 11th, followed by the Hernster, Mech Arm, Powski, Sean Sims, Tony Jabroni, Wyatt Wade, Scrubberton, Eric Yeagle, and Robert Goddard. Rounding out your top 20. Let's finish you off the grid then. Frank Red Hot in 21st, followed by Immortal Hitman, Provi, Mad Dog, Olsen, Artie Click, Fishy, Dan Zolo, Neil Trotter, Matty Quill, Extra Pickles with a black flag at the end. Did that get him disqualified from the race? I don't know. I don't think so. Gabriel Mazzotti was in 32nd. Tristan Witt in 33rd, followed by Gorilla Phonic, Travis Rivest, Shola, Deadman, Mr. Anded, and Casket Man. And it looked like Casket Man finished 7 laps off the race lead. Mr. Anders did recover from whatever issues he had, and he did finish the race, at least, in P38. But what a race that has been. Absolutely amazing. I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to take part in this league, you can head over to Matt Malone's Patreon and you sign up with that. You can get yourselves enrolled in this league and heading out for the race next time. So that's it. That's round 1 of the Matt Malone Patreon League over. What a short and sweet race that was. I wrote that outro before that race. That was a long, hectic, mental race indeed. From the constant stream of battles to the side-by-side racing to the absolute pandemonium. Next week, we're back at it we head off to Laguna Seca in the Toyota GR86. So be sure to hit the follow button here on the Beehive Build channel so that you don't miss the stream. And please do consider subscribing, because all the money that I earn from Twitch is paying for the iRacing Surface and the content on it, so that I can continue to stream all of these wonderful events. The stream will be available as a VOD on Twitch, and it will be moved across to my YouTube channel within the week, so you can watch it back and enjoy the pandemonium. So thank you for joining me here today at the virtual Okayama circuit, and I'll be seeing you all next week, barreling down the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. Goodbye.